Hey, welcome back to WatchMojo.com. This is Phil, your freak video game player game review man. The game I'll be reviewing this week is Black. Now, this is a game that was produced by Criterion, which is a very established company in terms of first-person shooter graphics, and it was published by Electronic Arts, which you all know, and I don't need to do any introductions to them. The game is rated M for mature. Obviously, it's a first-person shooter where you shoot people in the head. May I say more? Now, also, it's only one player, no multiplayer inside the game, no multiplayer online, no patches online. This game is offered for ps2 and Xbox, not for PC. This is something that you might want to keep in mind because your PC users, first-person shooter people, are not going to like this part of it. You start off as the character Jack Keller, which is an elite force member for the United States. Now, you are sent as an elite force to be able to eliminate certain documents, to hide certain information that the government asks you to destroy. Now, the AI in this game, remember, is unbelievable. Now, this AI will not allow you to play the old tricks that we used to, like sneak up on people or shoot them as you corner a door, and so on. You, at some point, are part of a SWAT team. Now, another beautiful thing that I have to mention is that if you do not follow that SWAT team, they won't bother helping you or saving your life. But if you decide to follow them and follow strategy, then they will help you and the game will be easier. Another thing is that when you go through the storyline, you might find different paths as you die and play again. Levels have sub-levels in them that make you go through the levels easier and faster. Now, another great thing that Black offers in terms of graphic details, obviously, may I mention that this actually pushes the PS2 and the Xbox to its fullest. Now, you cannot be offered any better sound, any better graphics on your PS2 or Xbox. You can tweak it all you want, but this game was only released for these two consoles, not for PC or for the 360. So you will not see better on those two consoles because the detail is amazing. You can actually shoot at everything. For instance, whatever is in your environment is destructible. Now, as an example I will give you is that what I did is I was pretty crooked as a first-person shooter. I actually shot through the wall to be able to try and see if I can kill the enemy on the other side. Well, I did, and I made a big hole in that wall, but while you're making a hole in that wall, there's so much plaster falling all over the place and dust that you can't even see where you're shooting. Actually, you got to base yourself on sound. Now, for the people who have surround sound, you're actually ahead of me because I do not have surround sound. So if the shots were coming from the back, I did not know. I had to base myself on shooting everywhere and then waiting for the sound of gunshots to stop because I couldn't see the enemy, which brings a real realism to the game. Now, let's say there's dust everywhere because you're shooting in the streets and you're hitting all sorts of materials like metals and all sorts of things. You hit a big gas can and it explodes, then it will shock the living hell out of you. Now, I've said only positives about this game called Black, but there is a little negative to it, is that I did finish it in 5 hours, but then again, I have no life. I play these games all the time, I get caught up, and I keep playing. But that's how good this game is. But on a negative note, apparently, by the designers, there was removal of details, not because the console would not take it, but because too much was too much. Now, you'll see in this game what I mean when I say too much, because you've never experienced this before. I hate repeating myself, but everything blows up. Everything. Now, this is the best part of the show where I give my opinion on the game Black. Now, to remind you of our Watch Mojo meter here, where we rate the games, 5 to 6 is actually rent only. Now, rent only meaning you rent the game, you go back home, you put it in the console, wherever console that is, you realize how sucky-ducky it is, you bring it right back to the video store, and you have them exchange it for another title. That's if they do that. They don't all do that. Now, 7 to 8 is rent with a late fee. Now, I say late fee, but a lot of those places now, of those retailers, allow you to rent the game on a weekly basis where you're able to play it for a week. And 9 to 10 is a purchase only, where you take the game home, you keep it, you play it, you finish it, you keep it, you play it again. 1 month later, you play it again, you finish it again. You get the point. I will place Black into 7 to 8, and I will explain you why. I did finish it in 5 hours, but I do not have a life. I love this game because of its detail, so I really kept going. It's very intriguing. The cinematics, everything follows each other, carries you through the game. But in terms of normal people that really play games maybe after work and so on, I would suggest maybe a week rental, because you do want to take your time through this one. I kind of rushed it because I was enjoying myself way too much. But you kind of want to take your time because you want to enjoy the graphics in this, because your Xbox or your PS2 will not offer you better graphics in the first-person shooter format. And that's Phil from WatchMojo.com. Now remember, this is something my girlfriend, or actually my ex-girlfriend, used to say all the time. Phil, it's just a game.